Welcome to High Desert Highlights. I'm Peyton Thomas. That's Steele Haugen. And Steele, we are rolling along in conference play.
Yes, we are. Most teams are 2 games in the league play already, believe it or not. And our feature game, let's get right to it. The Bin Lava Bears, they are hosting the Crook County Cowboys. Both teams had a 2-1 record heading into the game. Now, first quarter, freshman Trey Lawrence gets the handoff, turns on the Jets, and he is gone. The 9th grader puts the Lava Bears on the board. Now, quarterback Cowboys, Hayden Allen, quick pass to Taylon Williams. Second quarter, 4th down. Allen looking right, running left. He has room, and he's in for the score, 7-6. Now, senior quarterback Caden Cooper for Bend. He finds Marcio Silver for a nice gain. And then again, guess who? Freshman Trey Lawrence, again, handoff to the right, makes a man look, and look at that speed, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. The freshman phenom turning the Jets.
And Allen back to pass for Crook. It's a great completion to Keenan Twig, and he's looking for him again here for Twig, but intercepted by Max Duncan with a great catch.
Little tip drill to himself, but hey, DB came down with it. That's all you ask for as a defensive coach, is to have your guys reel those in.
Great concentration. Right after the interception, Lewis Knapp takes the toss and gets a nice chunk of yards. And then Cooper, he's looking deep. He has a man. It's Duncan with the catch. Look at that. Wow. Now they're in scoring position. It's a quick swing pass to Duncan again. And look at these moves, Peyton. Whoop, 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 into the end zone for a score. Little shake and bake right before the first half.
And that's that Lava Bear connection right there.
Yes, it is. Now, second half, Cooper out to the freshman. He can run, he can catch, he can do it all. And he is off to the races before they finally catch him. But again, the speed for that freshman, look out for him in the future. Another swing pass. This time it's to Knapp again, and he breaks free for the score. Now the Lava Bears, they win this one big, 42-14 to improve to 3-1 overall.
How about that? Big win for the Lava
Big
Bears.
win.
Heading north up 97, we go next to Ridgeview. The Ravens still undefeated this year. At 3-0 at the beginning of the night, they had yet to surrender a single point. Tonight, they're hosting Caldera, but it's the Wolfpack who jumped out to a 6-0 lead. But as they look to build that lead instead, well, they fumble. Missed handoff here, and it gives the Ravens a short field opportunity. A few plays later, Ravens threatening jet sweep for Ty Stevens. Stevens rumbles for the first down. Then they go back to Stevens. This time it's a toss into the flat. He breaks a tackle and falls across the plane for the score, 7-6 Ravens.
That's power right there. He refused to not get in the end zone.
Next drive, Caldera trying to get things moving, but on a 4th and 1, well, they run straight into that front 7 brick wall defensively for Ridgeview, and they take over on downs, and they take full advantage. How about this throw from senior Gage Hobbs, whoop, over to junior Finn Chambers, just over the DB for the touchdown.
Great touch on the ball and great connection.
Yeah, down 8 now. The Wolfpack need to get the ball moving. And how about quarterback Sawyer Jennings? Well, he's moving. Look at those wheels. The scramble, good for the chunk yards. This is late in the half. Final play of the half, just a few seconds remaining. Caldera looking deep. Jennings is going to let this thing fly, and it's actually hauled in on this Hail Mary attempt, just a few yards short. What a play that could have been. So Caldera going to the second half with just those 6 points. Caldera forced a punt here in the second half, but Brody Whitcomb has trouble with the snap, and he can't evade a couple Raven defenders despite the reverse attempt. So Ridgeview, another short field opportunity. This was really the story of the night. Ravens then begin to pull away as Ryden Nakamura, this is a little slip screen into the flat, and Nakamura, he makes multiple defenders miss all the way into the end zone. Ravens 38-12 over Caldera at home.
And the Ravens having a fantastic season this year.
Yeah, let's take a closer look at Ridgeview now. And Steele, the big story here is those 12 points against Ridgeview. 3 straight shutouts to start the year, and now a big win at home over Caldera.
I mean, they've been effective on offense, but like you said, the defense is where it's really stood out. 12 points in 4-game span, I believe, and that's just very impressive. 149 points for, 12 against, 4-game winning streak, top 10 in the rankings. What a start for the Ravens.
How do you feel about that number 9 ranking?
I think it's a little low, but depending on the competition, it's hard to say yet. They haven't really played those top 10 guys yet, and they're just about to.
Well, both Mountain View and Summit on the schedule for Ridgeview this year. But let's go over to Redmond, because the Panthers are trying to rebound after a loss to rival Crook County last week, and they have the undefeated Summit Storm coming to town. Doesn't get a lot easier, and it really didn't take long tonight for Summit to get things moving. How about this? This is the opening kickoff Quick bobble on the return from Cade Mackison. Well, then he does just about everything from there perfect. He takes the opening kickoff back 90-plus yards, and Summit gets on the board just a few seconds into this one.
That sets the tone early, breaks the tackle, and you're just playing catch-up if you're the Panthers after that.
And how about that on the road, jumping out to that start? Okay, after a quick stop, it's Summit back on offense, and, well, this hot start continues. They look deep again for Cade Nitschke, and Nitschke outruns the secondary. Despite the slide tackle attempt there in the secondary, another 6 for Summit. Later in the quarter, Redmond forced to punt, and they're forced to punt to the dangerous Connor Keneally. And Keneally, well, he's going to make some good yardage on this return. He had a couple good punt returns in this game and some receiving yardage as well, but really he gets it done, stealing all aspects of the game. This one, an interception for Keneally. Tyler Miner dropped back. He missed his man, and that was Keneally there for the pick. Later in the drive, Andrew Guthrie throws back across his body for Dylan Hughes, and Hughes finds pay dirt. 20-0 Summit, and Storm would really take control from there. 42-7 on the road, taking down Redmond.
Yeah, you need to watch out for that number 2 because Connor Keneally is all over the place for the Summit High. And let's get a closer look at the Storm. After their win, they've put up 169 points so far, Peyton. That's impressive. They've given up 74. They've played some tough teams. 5-game winning streak, ranked number 3. They've been that 1, 2, and now 3 spot, and they're still 5-0.
Yeah, and I think it's really with the offense and the amount of weapons they have. Guthrie's got a cannon for an arm, and his arsenal and his weapons that are available to him night after night. Just really impressive.
Yeah, and Summit's looked smooth all the way through this season so far. Great start for them as well.
All right, let's take a look at those 5A scores from tonight. Mountain View has the bye, but everybody else in action stealing really a couple blowouts tonight.
Yeah, the Lava Bears, like we saw at home, absolutely domination, did what they needed to do. The Ravens, 38-12. Fantastic game for them, and another big scoring game for the Summit Storm.
All right, quick look at the 5A standings tonight. Here's how things shake out after the games tonight. Summit, Bend, and Ridgeview all undefeated in conference play, but 2 undefeated teams remain overall. That's Summit and Ridgeview with 2 wins tonight. Okay, more scores and highlights coming up after the break. Welcome back to High Desert Highlights. Madras High is on bye this week, but youth sports in town almost didn't happen this year after the Madras Aquatic Center cut back programs because of those budget struggles, but a brand new program is stepping in. Roots Recreation launched this summer and has already signed up more than 300 kids for football, flag football, soccer, and volleyball. Organizers say it's only possible thanks to strong community support.
When I do talk to people about it, they're like, how can we help? What can we do? And I love that mentality because this really is going to take the whole community behind it to be successful.
Roots hopes to keep growing into a feeder program for Madras High while giving kids a chance to play right now. How cool is that?
So awesome. And Lapine had a similar situation. And speaking of Lapine, the high school team took on Sayusla tonight. And let's get straight to that action. We got a handoff to the right for the Vikings. And just kind of look at the speed here for Sayusla. They were ready to go right off the bat. No looking back. That's a touchdown there. Now the Vikings, they have the ball back. Again, this time they look for a little pass. It's a screenplay to the right. They've got blockers out front. Another Sayusla TD. And the Hawks, they could not get the tackling down tonight. Unfortunately, they lose big 68-0.
Yeah, tough one there. That takes us to tonight's 3A scoreboard and steal the other game in action tonight. Sisters at Douglas, 7-6. How about that? Hey, however you get it done.
Well, I was talking about the intensity had to have been through the roof for that game.
Yeah, games like that, every possession just feels monumental. And yeah, 7-6 Sisters comes out with the win. Now to tonight's 3A standings and steal. This division we've been talking about all year, really wide open, and Sisters with another close win tonight, kind of staying ahead of the ballgame here.
Yeah, Sisters is taking advantage of this kind of league that's struggling, and they're really putting themselves at the forefront right here to 3-1 record with Pleasant Hill right there.
Yeah, and conference play is right around the corner. So.
All right, now time for my favorite segment. It's the top plays of the night. Now we're heading to Bend Senior High once again, and I can't get over this interception. The concentration, the dive, the one hand. Look at this one more time, Peyton, in slow motion. It's just the one hand grab for me that did this for the top play.
And it almost looked like he meant to do it because he hauled it in the second time and just made it look so smooth. But as long as he come down with it, that was a huge interception at that point.
It was. It really swung the momentum shift towards the Lava Bears there.
All right, and now over to Redmond High, and this was the first play of the ball game. And it's just going to take a little bit to watch this develop. But Cade Mackison, ignore that bobble when that kickoff first gets there. But the electrification of a kickoff return for a touchdown
Yeah.
on the opening play, especially on the road. I mean, this really helped Summit coast to that win.
Yeah, it sets the tone early, and Summit is a team that likes to be in the lead and kind of likes to take control, and they did just that.
All right, Steele, finally tonight, let's look ahead. It's a battle of the unbeaten. We said it, 2 undefeated teams in 5A in the Intermountain Conference. Well, they match up next Friday night. It's Ridgeview at Summit High.
And I'm excited. This is a good one for both teams. This is one where Summit can really put a message out there to the league that they're the top dogs. And for Ridgeview, we're proving that we're the real deal and we belong with those top dogs.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that Summit offense facing off against that Ridgeview defense. That's strength on strength right there.
It'll be a fun one, and I cannot wait. Hope to see you there.
All right, we'll see you there next Friday night for more High Desert highlights.